Sure, yes. So right now I'm working on 2 books with my friend and colleague, Professor Andy Hargreaves. One is going to be about student well-being, engagement in the learning process. This is based predominantly on research we did in Canada and the northwest of the United States, some other jurisdictions as well. There'll also be a book called Leading from the Middle, about trying to help educators to activate themselves, to not just wait for orders from above, or to wait to see what bubbles up from below, but to actually lead our profession forward. I'm currently what's called a Richard von Weizsäcker Fellowship in the Bosch Foundation in Berlin, Germany. I'm residing there for 3 months, and I'm conducting research on the human technology frontier in education and work. And this is a fascinating study for me, essentially, with the transformation of all of our lives with artificial intelligence and new technologies. We're asking leaders from a number of different sectors, how should we reimagine the future of work and the future of education? So we know that we'll be losing millions of jobs due to technological innovation, robotics. That could be a good thing, actually, because a lot of jobs are inherently degrading. It doesn't matter what you try to do to uplift certain kinds of work, that they don't uplift the human spirit. So it would be great if we could get rid of all those kinds of work. But then we need to replace those kinds of work with other activities. And so we may be entering into some kind of a post-capitalist order in which technological change is liberating human beings from the curse of drudgery and alienated labor. What are the implications of that for how we educate our young people? That's that set of research questions. So a book on really being and engagement, another book on leading from the middle of our educational systems, and a new research project on education and work in light of new technological transformations. Okay, so I probably will puzzle some people because I am the author of The Mindful Teacher. And so I very much am an advocate of mindfulness, reflection, discernment, prayer, whatever you might wish to call these different forms of centering activities that human beings call upon to help them to probe their lives more deeply and to make better judgments. However, I think one of the things that's happening in schools is we're keeping very, very high-pressure systems, and now we're bringing in mindfulness or affiliated activities kind of as band-aids to not really transform education, but just to help young people to manage stress better. That, for me, is not the intention of these traditions. These practices should help us to think about what kinds of ways are we leading our everyday lives, and to remove these excessive forms of stress and competition and pressure on our young people and on our school systems, and to replace them with something better, so that these activities are not coping mechanisms, that are part of a whole way of being. For us to really enhance these kinds of activities, these kinds of contemplative practices, it can't just be enough that schools are changed, but we also have to change our workplaces. So having humanistic schools in a dehumanizing society is not the end goal. The end goal should be to try and figure out what can we do to transform our societies to make them good for everybody.